We take you to California wine country, but it's not Napa nor Sonoma.
And we find a great place to relax if you get delayed at the airport in Cleveland.
And not too far south, we take you to the Football Hall of Fame.
In Philly, we found the best wine bar in the city.
And then we hit the links in Ohio at a place created by Jack.
Cheers.
Hi, everybody. Hey, we are still in Temecula, California. We already did one show on this vineyard here, the Leoness Cellars Vineyard, and you can see the winery or the vineyards behind us. And if you get a chance, take a look at that. But we just want to talk about Temecula in its entirety here, because we've actually been able to spend some time here doing some work, and this is a great place to come visit.
Oh my God, it's so fabulous. It really is off the beaten path, and I know a lot of people in Southern California already know about it and come here, but you can fly in from a lot of airports, you can drive here, and the terroir is really very similar to the Rhone Valley, as we mentioned in our other video. So they're growing grapes here like Cinsault, Grenache, Roussanne, Marsanne, things that you get in the Rhone Valley that really the other producers in California don't grow.
And what we're drinking here is I have a Viognier, and you've got
and
a
I have
Syrah.
a Syrah. It's beautiful. It's peppery. It's bacony. It's a full mouthful with a really nice peppery finish. Oh, it's so delicious.
And if people know me, I'm really a Chardonnay drinker, and for me to drink a Viognier and to really like it, it says this is really good, and this is a great wine. We actually had some
absolutely
we
went
had
great
dinner
with food. Yeah, we really did, and we're here at the Leoness Winery, as we mentioned, and so the wines here really blew us away. And so we tried out their restaurant, and one of the things that we're saying is that there's great wineries, there's great restaurants attached to those wineries. So we went to the restaurant here. Amazing. The chef here is Chef Amanda. She does a brilliant job of really blowing you away with flavors that you would not expect, which I think is the true culinary value of a chef.
Yeah, it always surprises you.
Yeah.
The first thing we had was the beef carpaccio. Probably the biggest beef carpaccio you're going to see as far as a plate goes.
No, absolutely.
And it was
full of minced shallots, capers, olive oil, and a citrus aioli, and then it had a shaved grana padano on the top. Oh my God, it was so delicious. We couldn't stop eating it, and it came as huge as you see it here.
And it goes into our all gone category because it was all gone.
All
afterwards.
gone.
Yeah, the next thing was was a curry soup, but it was a zucchini curry soup. Mm-hmm. And this was exactly what you said before. It kind of gave you all 3 or 4 different tastes that you were kind of looked at each other and go, okay, that we've never tasted before.
Yeah, absolutely. This soup was so beautifully blended, an amalgamation of like herbs and fresh flavors, the curry, the vegetables, the zucchini, everything in one. It made you cry. I mean, it really was so good. It really brought you to tears. It was so good.
And here's how our waitress, Nicole.
So our soup is a curried zucchini soup. It's a puree, very well balanced, light on the curry, and it's finished off with a coconut creme fraiche.
The great thing about that curry soup was a lot of people don't like curry because they think it's too hot. It wasn't really hot. It was a perfect blend because you got a little bit of a kick, but you just had all these other spices in there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was plentiful, it was beautiful, it was blended perfectly, as you said, and that was the key to the whole dish. It was so gorgeous and amazing. I would come here just for that soup and eat it all day long.
And then we had, as the main entree, we had something just for the halibut. It was actually a great Alaskan halibut, and the way it was prepared, really, I've never had it prepared like this before, and if you had told me ahead of time what it was, I would have said, I don't know if I'd go for that.
Yeah, no, but we tried it, and it was something truly amazing. And again, we're going to have our waitress, Nicole. She was amazing. All the staff here is pretty amazing on the service level. They really care about all of the people that are here. Whether you're a member or not, they love you. And they really treat you with love and kindness. And so she describes this beautiful dish.
It is a pan-seared. It's served on a bed of truffle risotto. It's got a mushroom ragu topping with a port sherry butter reduction sauce.
We had it, and we were blown away with it. In fact, we had it 2 times. We were so blown away with it. I mean, it's something that you wouldn't expect. And again, that's where we're going back to. That's the key of a culinary brilliant chef. I mean, they create things that you would never expect to have created. And mixing this sherry port wine reduction with a halibut, you would go, no, not going to work. Oh, it's like the best thing you've ever had in your life.
Yeah, and I'm really partial to the fruity, to the cherry, to the berry type thing, and this just really hit me in a great way. I could have had 2 or 3 of this. We also had the port that it came from afterwards.
And this port is delicious. It's an amazing port, and if you're a port fan, a true port fan, you will love this. It goes great with truffles that are not very sweet chocolate. Very delicious. It's a rich, deep, dark port, and I think that's where it makes a great sauce for the halibut. But honestly, as a port, I'm kind of picky about my ports. I'm not even a big tawny port fan, as I was mentioning to John, and I love this port. It really hits the notes on every level of a deep, dark port.
So get it, just not for the halibut though. Sorry. We've been to some other wineries too around here too. Now, the Leoness to us was really the creme de la creme. There are other ones that they should go to. We were at Wilson Creek, and we really enjoyed it. Great grounds, great place to visit, a really good restaurant. Their wines were really different. We liked their wines, but one of the interesting things you and I found was that their wines, especially their whites, were really sweet.
Yeah, exactly. All of their grapes seem to be much more on the sweeter level, and I think because they mentioned to us that they harvest them later. Wilson Creek had an amazing venue. It's beautiful there. You can go and have a glass of wine, a picnic, bring your kids. There's a playground area, a beautiful creek that runs through the whole thing. There's different areas where you can sit and have a glass of wine. They had an amazing restaurant too that we really loved the food at. We had great food, and we'll show you a shot actually here from the restaurant looking out over the vineyards. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and I would say that we enjoyed their wines, and I would tell you to go and visit there. I think we like
Absolutely.
the Leoness wines a little bit better. In our other story, when we were talking about Leoness, we think they're great blenders. They do a great job. That
Yes.
is an incredibly blended wine. The different wines that they have, their reds are really good.
Well, this is a Syrah, but it's a blend of 4 different wines to make the Syrah, but it's predominantly Syrah, so that's why we call it Syrah. But they did an amazing job blending it. Wilson Creek had some beautiful sparkling wines that were absolutely delicious. They have the almond one, and they also have the rosé, which is really phenomenal with seafood.
And really what put Wilson Creek on the map was their sparkling wines. When they started out, it was about 25 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. So they won a lot of awards, and they deserve them because their wines are delicious. Their almond wine, you can drink that with food or on its own. You could just drink that all day long. It's very good.
Their almond sparkling wine, and I can't remember the exact name of it, but I called it biscotti, liquid biscotti.
And that's the perfect description of it.
Yeah, it was really good.
Also in Temecula, there's this great old town area with amazing restaurants,
Yeah.
a lot of them gastropubs and very modern, trendy things. They're really up on food here.
Yeah, and at the same time too, they make it interesting for tourists, so that you do kind of walk through an old town. It has kind of a feel maybe of the 30s and 40s, maybe a little bit of the 19th century. Kind of a lot of California towns kind of give you that nostalgic feel. But what they've done here is a great job of creating really good restaurants. And if you think it's all just steak and potatoes, it's not, because we went to a great sushi restaurant.
Oh yeah, we had amazing sushi at this one place, and they do these oyster shooters. They're amazing. You've got to try one if you go there. No matter what you think you like or know about shooters, this is something amazing. The way they blend it, well, you'll see in this shot, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, those were great. And then on top of it, the sushi, you're not even, aside from the oysters, was
Sushi
very good too. It was
amazing.
very
Yeah.
creative.
Oh, the sushi was amazing. They do a great job keeping the integrity of the sushi. The fish was fresh. The rice was perfect sushi rice. And as we've learned before, sushi is not necessarily about the fish. It's all about the rice. And it was amazing. Yeah. The blend that they did with the sushi and the rice and their mixtures of different sauces to go on those things were brilliant. Truly brilliant.
You wouldn't hurt yourself going on a 2 or 3 day culinary tour of Temecula, hitting the different wines, the vineyards and the different wineries, and then hitting the restaurants down in Old Town.
And Taboo was the name of the sushi place, by the way, in case you want to go visit it. So I agree, and I think you need somebody to drive you around when you go do that, because you don't want to drink and drive, and you want to eat a lot of food and have a lot of wine.
Yeah, and so the Uber is available here. We actually also found a taxi cab company. We actually used both. The taxi cab company, and I'm drawing a blank, is it Black Taxi? Is that what it was called?
I think so, yeah, Black
yeah,
Taxi.
And so we found a taxi cab driver. His name is Wayne. We kept calling him Wayne's World. So he kept saying, "Ride on, Garth," and also
Party on
Garth, and
excellent.
All that. So, and he was very knowledgeable. The Uber guys were very, very knowledgeable too. There's obviously a little bit of a battle here between the taxi cab company and Uber.
As usual.
So, it's what usual. But at the same time too, you do have the ability to not have to drive. For instance, if you're in any wine town, like when we're in Napa, try to find somebody to drive you around. I mean, you just don't want to. I mean, you're going to be enjoying the wines. You just never know. You don't want to get into the car. Great place to visit. You said this at the top. You can fly into LA. You can fly into John Wayne Airport in Orange County. You can fly into San Diego. You could probably even fly into Ontario.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And drive here. It would probably only be about an hour, at the most an hour and a half drive. Of course, you're coming in from LA.
Wow, that food and wine in Temecula. What a surprise. Blown away by how good it all was.
Yeah. Great stuff. And when we come back, we're going to tackle a shrine and play some golf. Undercover Jet Setter helps you jet set the world and at home, bringing you travel, food, wine, mixology, and golf. With a reach of 120 million on social media and streaming networks worldwide. We're on Facebook, X, and Instagram. Check us out on YouTube, Wingding TV, Canyon Star TV, and DB TV. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, drop them in the comments below.
For a refreshing and extremely healthy drink to go with everything, try this one.
It is called A1C, and it's conceivably the healthiest drink ever made.
A1C is the first scientifically designed diabetic drink in the history of the world, and we love it.
And it's just not for people with diabetes, although it is great for that. Anyone can enjoy the wonderful health benefits and delicious flavor.
Go to a1cdrinks.com to try it and use coupon code JETSETTER1 for a 5% discount.
Cheers, Jet Setters.
We are in Cozumel, Mexico.
You may have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone.
So that means you can create your own TV show.
You may want to have great vacation videos.
Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand.
It's a quick read, and you can get it here.
So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show.
What's interesting, and what we've noticed around the world, airports are actually making things easier for people and allowing them, if they have to have long waits.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And out of all the lounges we've been in and all the airports, and we've been in a lot, we actually got snowed in Cleveland, found one there where we could really relax and unwind.
When we jet set into Cleveland, we enjoy the Airspace Lounge, a great place to work, nice wines, and delectable foods, all part of the itinerary, as General Manager Chris Poltrone told me.
People love our higher end offerings. Now, when you come to an airport, a lot of times people really are expecting pizza or burgers. A lot of places don't really have a high end offering. What we have here is a meat platter, we have a cheese board, we have a selection of marinated vegetables. Those are some kind of things that are light, but they're also very tasty, and people really appreciate having that level of food available at an airport.
And you got a varied wine selection too.
Yes, we have house wines. We have 2 whites and 2 reds, but we also have our premiums. We have 2 Sauvignon Blancs, a Malbec blend, a Chardonnay, all our premiums. So people can mix and match and choose kind of what they want to use their credit on here, and then they can get a high-end drink, or they can get something a little, maybe be able to afford a little more by getting a house wine. But they have full choice, which is nice.
And here in Cleveland, especially during the winter, you're going to have people who are going to stay here for a long time, because you might get the snow delays, like somebody we know who actually left his hard drives here. And
no names, mention no names.
You were kind enough to retrieve that and get
Yes.
them to me, which
Yes.
I was very, very appreciative of. But that's the kind of service that you want to give here.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, the customers are our bread and butter, like any place, and we feel like if you treat them the way they, an extra special way, and that they'll come back and they'll remember that. And there's a lot of loyalty that can be created out of that level of customer service. I try to make sure that everybody's treated the same way and the way I would want to be treated if I was in a similar situation.
Well, much appreciated, because every time we come to Cleveland, I always stop by here and see you. Do you have to be an American Express card member to be in here?
Absolutely not. We do free access for American Express Platinum and Centurion card members, but we also have a pay as you go kind of plan. It's $20 per person per day, and that includes all the same benefits that anyone having the American Express card would get complimentary in entry, which includes a $7 credit towards any of our food or drinks, unlimited coffee, soft drinks, cappuccino, espresso, juices, all that's included. We have Wi-Fi, we have newspapers, wireless printing, everything that a business traveler would need, but also anything that a family would need. So we try to be really versatile in that way.
Okay, so if someone's looking you up online, where do they go?
www.airspacelounge.com. We have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram account, we have a Twitter account, so those are all good ways to keep up to date. We also have lounges at JFK in New York, Baltimore, BWI, and San Diego, which is our newest lounge, which is co-branded with American Airlines Admirals Club. So all American Airlines Admirals Club members, plus our traditional routes of entry, are accepted at San Diego. Okay. That's our newest lounge.
So got to fly Cleveland to San Diego then.
That's the one. Yep, okay. Great trip.
Chris, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
So if you're traveling through Cleveland, go see Chris. He'll take great care of you.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We had a good time there. Also, not too far away is the Football Hall of Fame, and we are going to take you there next.
Undercover Jet Setter is booming.
We are looking for partners to attract consumers interested in travel, food, mixology, wine, restaurants, and golf.
Your business and expertise will be profiled on our shows and online segments that will provide you with valuable marketing tools which you can use on your sites.
And your business will also gain exposure to our Undercover Jet Setter global reach of over 120 million across all of our platforms.
Drop us a line here and let's partner up together. You may not have noticed, but the majority of Undercover Jet Setter is shot on the iPhone. So that means you can create your own TV show, or you may want to have great vacation videos. Well, we've made it easier for you with our book. It's called The TV Studio in Your Hand. It is a quick read, and you can get it here. So bring us along for your next vacation video or your new TV show. Well, when you think of Canton, you might think of Hong Kong or China, like I do, if you don't live in the U.S.
But if you are in the U.S., you say Canton, you don't say Canton, and that means you're a football fan and you want to go to the Football Hall of Fame.
If you have any love or memories of football, you need to visit the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. You get the full history of the game from the early era until today. The legendary Jim Thorpe, all the way to the teams that compete for the Super Bowl today. This is also a museum of incredible photography. You will also see lots of American history as well. Now for me, it was cool to see the shrines of some guys I've had a chance to meet, like the late Johnny Unitas or Chuck Bednarik. I actually played golf with Packer great Jim Taylor and Cowboys quarterback Roger Staubach. I actually ate at Ditka's place in Chicago and had some drinks with the Stork Ted Hendricks. I also emceed Eric Dickerson's celebrity golf event. Just saw him and he's still going strong, as is my favorite Giant, Lawrence Taylor. Thurman Thomas, he's a great guy. Former Bill. Cowboy Emmitt Smith, the Giants' Harry Carson and Joe Montana. I remember meeting the late Otto Graham, a real gentleman, and getting an autograph from the still going strong Terry Bradshaw. So, if you can, grab some of your football memories.
And it was kind of cool being there for Super Bowl weekend, but I shouldn't say cool. It was cold, even for a New England boy. It was cold. I know you were cold.
It was downright cold. Freezing would be the better word, but yeah, very cold, but cool for the Super Bowl. So next, we're heading to Philly, and we found there actually probably the city's greatest wine bar. Next mission, Vintage Wine Bar in Philly. Heard about strange experiments. Could change the way you eat.
Our informant, Corey, Italian-Irish kid from Beantown, knows his stuff, revealed this odd alchemy pate.
So what's so different about this one?
Well, and here at Vintage, we make ours in-house. What you have tonight is a variation. We have it is a ground pork with duck liver, also dried prunes, and a hazelnut liqueur. I see you, sir. I'll be with you in 1 second.
While Corey chased away the infiltrator, we delved into the pate. Pig and geese together. The only thing to improve on it? This old favorite. We figured the Sangiovese was only a cover. It could allow this operation to keep the name Vintage. Don't be fooled. This place should be called Progressive.
And we had only begun to reveal some shockers. We thought our Sangiovese was laced with culinary LSD when we saw this, purple salmon. We checked our sports app. Had the Vikings ursated to Fairbanks? No, Corey explains.
What we have here in front of you is one of our entrees for Vintage Wine Bar and Bistro. It's the beet cured salmon. Salmon's going to be cured 60 hours in salt, pepper, and beets, sliced thin, accompanied by a dill caper creme fraiche with some mixed, if you will, spring greens and a lemon dill.
The deception continued. This white Vivanco is really from a Spanish red grape, but there was more, a new Manhattan project.
We replaced the vermouth with ruby port and orange bitters and orange slice for the end result, which is a nice, easy drinking cocktail.
Ingenious, replacing vermouth with port, not your daddy's cocktail.
Vintage Wine Bar in Philly on 13th at Sampson.
You can find Undercover Jet Setter on Wingding TV, a streaming channel, and so much more.
Like us, you can have your own show or channel to promote your business and reach more customers.
Because Wingding Media is also a social media and digital marketing giant.
Look what they've done for the Ultimate Long Drive Championships.
More than 1 million viewers with 30 licensed partnerships sold around the world.
So, check out wingding.tv to watch Undercover Jet Setter or to create something for your own business. We stayed at the Bertram Inn at the Glenmore Country Club in Canton, Ohio quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's a great spot. Now, it's a private country club, so you can only get on if you happen to know somebody that is a member. And I do.
We roll into Canton, Ohio at the Glenmore Country Club. The former seminary, not far from the Pro Football Hall of Fame, is home to this great Jack Nicklaus layout. Now, one of the members, Dale Bellis, is a friend and a client. He is the executive director of Liberty HealthShare, a medical cost-sharing company. In addition to bringing to the nation an alternative to health insurance, Dale wants to conquer the par 3 7th at Glenmore. His big problem is a wet tee shot, but not today, despite the rain.
Well, you're over. Is it still your nemesis hole?
Well, at least I'm not in the water. Not in the water.
Now, why is this your nemesis hole?
Well, because this water just intimidates me to death.
Don't you hate it? The most beautiful hole in the course? And
Yeah, that's right.
It's got you.
And it's got you. It's all in my head.
So Dale gladly took his bogey there. Then he moved to the short but tricky par 4 8th hole, only 300 yards, but narrow and plenty of water. Dale hit a 200-yard tee shot, leaving him safely short of the water. And then, ignoring the pond and the rain, he dropped a soft wedge to about 12 feet.
You're on the pin. Right there.
There.
Way to go, Dale Bellis.
Yay, boom, boom.
Nice.
Before he just missed his birdie putt, but he was happy with a par.
I'll take a par.
Another ho-hum par.
Ho-hum par. That's right.
Glenmore is a typical Nicklaus design, greens with small subtleties that seem like double breaks on each putt, and hole setups forcing you to hit different shots to precise spots. Now, you don't need to be a member to play here. If you're staying here at the Bertram Inn, you can play. I did it using Jet Setter travel deals with our travel club. And you can rent clubs, too. Oh, and by the way, I crushed that drive.
Here's the website for our travel club. Catch you next time, folks. Keep swinging easy.
It was a great round of golf. Now, golf weather in Ohio can be tricky because we've actually seen snow in April here, and I've actually played golf in Ohio in December when it was close to 70 degrees. So check it out before you head out.
Go figure. Anyway, great seeing you. Can't wait to see you next time on Undercover Jet Setter. Cheers.
Cheers. I got a drink. So we had to try the latest TikTok sensation, the Parmesan Espresso Martini.
Yes, it's a thing right now.
Now, it may sound like a weird combo, but it's actually delicious.
And of course, we jet setterized it up a bit for you.
Now, you've got to try it, and we'll show you how.
First, make a Parmesan-infused vodka.
In a container with an airtight lid, add 4 ounces of your favorite vodka.
To that, put in 1 tablespoon of grated Parmesan.
Next, grate in 1 teaspoon of the Parmesan rind and 1 teaspoon of a Meyer lemon.
That's one of our jet setter hacks. We think the Meyer lemon adds the sweet of an orange and the bitter of a lemon.
Then, close the container, shake well, and store in the fridge overnight.
Now, it's cocktail time.
Strain the Parmesan-infused vodka first before making your cocktail.
Next, grate some Parmesan into a plate or container.
Rub the rim of a martini glass with a Meyer lemon.
Dip the glass rim into the Parmesan.
Now for 2 drinks, in a shaker filled with ice, add 4 ounces of the infused vodka, 2 ounces of coffee cream liqueur, and 2 ounces of cold espresso.
We used Somris coffee cream liqueur, and that's another jet setter hack.
Shake it all up really well.
The more you shake, the better you will create that magical, foamy look.
Now pour into a nice martini glass.
Then, to add even more Parmesan-y goodness, garnish with some fat Parmesan shavings.
Now try it and tell us it's not super yummy.
We think this sublime and elegant drink is the bomb to impress anyone at your next get-together.
Cheers, Jet Setters.